children do not learn with what you tell them. Children learn through observing. Like kids learn through observing. It's not what you tell them. So however much you're going to come and preach to kids, you're going to talk to kids. I know we've been told that okay, you can talk to someone and I know they can, but then remember we are energies. So you to be able to pick something from me, you either have to be on the same energy of me with me, or aspiring to be on that very energy as me. You can't. If you were in different worlds, you wouldn't even stop to watch the video. Like if you were in different worlds or in different energies, you wouldn't. You'll just be like, I'm done with what are these people speaking, and I'm like, you move on. So that's how children are, because we are all children, like we are all kids. Though we have beards, we have whatever, we think we are adults, but we are still kids. That's why they be like, in God's eyes or in verse, we are all children. We are all children. Remember, a child will always be a child to their parent. However much they grow, however much they become what, you're still a child to their parent. And that's how God sees us. And children learn through observation. Let's say pastors' kids. You've seen pastors who raise kids and their kids are totally different from them. Like the way they react to the world, the way they see the world, they're totally different from them because they know their parents. Their parents come probably on the pulpit and they preach whatever they're supposed to preach, but then when they go back home, they are different people. Like they are normal people. You get, they are normal people. So meaning even people that you look in high esteem are normal people, but then because for you you're being helped in some way, you think their kids must be but those kids are also going to, when they go back home, they are no longer those preachers. Remember, we are just vessels to whatever we're supposed to be. So when they go back home, perhaps the Holy Spirit is off them and they become normal people, and normal people are in this world. Remember also probably before they got into the ministry, they had things that they were going through. They had traumas. They had things they had to heal from. Some let's say some preachers work on them and okay, they are okay and good, but then some don't manage to work through it. And kids are going to see this. You see, when a baby is just looking at you, probably adults fighting, adults doing this, adults doing whatever they're doing. For the parents, in most cases, they think the kid doesn't understand. Yes, the kid doesn't understand because the kid won't speak, but the kid is observing. The kid is tapping into that energy. So you're giving that kid energy. Whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it, you're giving that kid energy. You will look at kids that are raised, that's why they'll be like kids raised on love and kids raised on survival are going to be different. If you're raised on survival, you're going to be in survival mode for all your life till you be like, I'm done with survival. Till you be like, enough is enough, I'm done surviving, I want to live. And once you choose to live, that's when you're going to choose the journey of healing. And you heal yourself. Perhaps probably some of these things you already knew them. You already know everything. Remember when you realize like we are all souls, we have been here on earth before. That's why we know all these things. That's why they tell us there is nothing new under the sun and the moon. There is nothing new. You already know these things, but you just forget them because of the environment. You get, that's why they'll be like, you're already a star, but then because of the environment, it just dimmed your star. Perhaps you wanted to say something, people were like, nah, that doesn't make sense, and someone just brushed you off. They brushed you off, but then you knew that that's how it's supposed to be. You knew that there was something wrong probably with your parents, but then because your parents were like, I think that's how life is supposed to be. There is nothing like happiness. That's how marriage is supposed to be. There is not happiness exists. But because you're in that environment, you're the one. That's why they be like, some people be like, I'm the one supposed to break the generational cycle or generational trauma or generational whatever. Because they be like, enough is enough. You observe and say like, okay, this thing is not working. So why isn't it working? That's how you start getting into the nitty gritty. You start delving into it. You start understanding things, and when you understand things, you're going to understand yourself, why you react the way you are, because you observe, you saw it somewhere. That's why if you're raised kid, you think the only way you can change kids is you being the highest version of yourself. If you want to teach kids how to love each other, make sure you as adults love each other. And not this loving where you're loving because you need something from your partner. loving unconditionally. The kids will see this. I promise you, kids will see this. But the moment if you're not authentic as a parent, you're not, kids are also going to tap into that. I know one kid is going to like it so much because they will also be like, okay, that's how it's going to be, and they'll be exactly like you. That's why they'll be like the first. If you're a woman, the first daughter you give birth to, in most cases, that's you. So they're going to be like exactly like you. If they're not exactly, they're going to be the opposite of you. And you know why they're opposite of you? Because they are triggering something in you so that you can work on yourself. You get, that's like because there is that story of also reincarnation. So some people reincarnate so that we can work on the things that we didn't work on, our karmas, work on things that we didn't probably fulfill in the last lives, in the previous lives. So you come back and do all things. If you give birth to a kid who is exactly like you, meaning you that kid is going to be exactly like, so if the first child that you're going to give birth to is going to be exactly like you. If it's a man, that boy is going to be like you. If it's a girl, that girl is going to be like you. If they are opposite of you, meaning those you will see that you won't even like them. They will trigger something in you. If you're negative, they'll be so positive. They'll be like, but this kid of mine is so. So if they are positive, meaning they're supposed to heal you. Then if they are negative, you're supposed to see, like, you're supposed to work around those triggers so that you understand where they're coming from. Perhaps it's your great grandparent that has come back in this child to make you do the right thing so that you don't do the same mistake. I'll tell you this, when you see whatever you do or whatever happens in your life, your kids are most likely going to follow that same train. That's why they'll tell you, if you're not careful, you'll be like your father. That's why single mothers will be like, do you want to be like your father? Because they see that something, and the kid is most cases going to be like their father. Till by the grace of God, that kid is probably that kid is like, let's say, an old soul who has come back to reincarnate, who has come back to work on certain things, and they won't be deviated. Like, they will still remain grounded. Other than that, they're always going to be like their father till they meet probably someone like me speaking these things, and they start tracing why they're acting the way they're acting. If you look at the way you're acting, and you don't understand that, first look at maybe your father or some great parent did exactly that same thing. So those are things that you're supposed to learn so that you can do better. But how are you going to know better when you don't know what better is? You've never seen better. That's why people like this come and start speaking freely about these things, because we have seen it. I know there are so many people that are also talking about these things, but listen, I know, just listen. One day, one time, someone will speak something and he will speak to you, and it will be the spark of something fresh and something new. But just know, as people, we learn through observation. That's why they used to take kids for apprenticeship. Like, you go, that's why fathers take, probably fathers or parents of this age, they take their kids like to work, so that they can just sit around and see the work environment, so that they can observe. One day, one time, they'll get to know these things. So teaching kids to observe you is way better than telling them what to do. They should just, because kids learn through observation. They see what you're doing. They see those emotions that you're doing. They see that you're not happy. They see that you're sad. They see that you're struggling. They see that, but they don't have words to it. We have so many emotions, but then we don't have words to every emotion. So we just be like, okay, you're sad. You're not even sad. You're just feeling somewhere you don't understand, because it's a different kind of emotion. So as we're growing and understanding life, look at what are your kids observing with you. Whatever you're not speaking, your kids can see it. They can see it, but they haven't found a word to what you're feeling. So in most cases, they're going to be like you. They're going to attract that very energy. So if you want your kids to be loving, kind, and all that, make sure you are in the first place, so that kids radiate off that energy and become the highest versions of themselves. Peace and love.